John Wild here with the Eco Guys, and I know that my fellow scrappers out there have probably done this a million times, but maybe someone might tune in that's never done this or never seen this and want to know what's going on inside things. So we're going to micro scrap today a fan motor. You've seen a lot of scrappers grab the fans, take the blades off, take the fence off, throw the pole and the motor into their vehicle and go. Now a lot of scrappers just end up scrapping the motor with the thing as tin shred and all this. Some scrappers actually will take the motor out and add it with their motors because it is an electrical motor in here. It's basically all it is. Now with us with the Eco Guys, we go a little further. Of course, you know we recycle the plastics. And these hard plastics are usually a polypropylene, a number 5, or a polystyrene, which is a number 7, or a combination of both. So if you're curbside recycling, or your recycling drop-offs, take everywhere from number 1 to 7. When you take this thing apart, when you micro scrap, these plastics can be recycled. Some municipalities say, no, we're only going to take water bottles, number 1, number 2, that's it. But okay, well, you know, what are they doing this for? Are they doing this to keep things out of their landfill? Yeah, probably. Are they doing this to make money? Well, they're not going to, but it's the right thing to do for the environment is to get all these plastics recycled. So if you live in an area that doesn't offer curbside recycling for items from 3 to 7 or whatever, hard plastics like this, you can mail these to us and we will recycle them. We have a vast contacts of people in plastic community. One company we send our plastics to they make them into park benches. They make them into picnic tables and siding and dimensional lumber. Great ideas for these plastics to be made into. Some of these harder plastics are actually made into carpet and packing rugs, things like that. So there's a lot of things that these plastics could be made into. Again, if your municipality doesn't accept some plastics, we do. Ship them to us. You'll see about that in the link in this video. So let's take this thing apart and see what's going on inside. So we're going to undo the screws in the very top. Everywhere you see a screw, unscrew it. There we go. Now, what I do with my screws and my small stuff, I got a little container here that I throw all my little screws into. Now here is a kind of a hack that I do. When this fills up and it's time to put the screws in my shred, I put them in. Let me show you. I have an example here somewhere, I think. Yeah. I have a before and after example, which is perfect. Okay. Yes, I have a dirty work shirt on because I'm doing dirty stuff. I usually have an empty food can sitting around, all rinsed out and ready. And what I do is when these things get filled up, I actually run a magnet over it to make absolutely certain that they're all metal. Because sometimes even in the littlest things in the world, some of these screws can be aluminum and brass. And once I fill this kind of up, I will pour it into my can, fill the can halfway, take the can, scrunch it down so nothing escapes, and all those little screws and all that. It's a lot easier for this to go with it and be recycled than the little screws drop off and get lost along the way. This kind of assures that the smaller little screws and all that will get scrapped. And it's kind of heavy after it fills up with some screws, so you got some scrap weight there. All right. Perfect. Okay. Here we go. I threw it into one scrap bucket, it missed, and it rolled out into another scrap bucket. Perfect. All right, so we took the screws off the fan. Let's lift this up, see what's going on inside. Again, look at that big little, I got a little plastic bag right here. I'm going to put that in there, and that will be recycled, that plastic. And, okay, so we're stuck. So we got to figure out what's sticking us here. Probably whatever is taped to the back here. Looks like another screw in the back. So let's see what we can do about that. Well, I'm going to have to lay this on the side like this and kind of come at it at a side angle. Side of your eye. Side of your eye. And without stabbing myself with the screwdriver. All right, that's what we're going to try to do. We're going to try to do this without stabbing ourselves with the screwdriver. Or our scales, whatever the hell that is. All right, here we go. Unscrew, unscrew, unscrew. And drop it in there. And boy, look at that. Slides right out. Ew. See what's inside your fan? See all the yucky stuff? That's why every now and then you might want to take your fan apart and clean it real good. Yuck. Anyway, plastic recycles. Alright, so let's see what we got going on in here. Wow, we have see, this is a sample of why these things break. Look at this dust and dirt and hair all in here in this motor. Yuck. It sucks all that in from the back and it gets into this motor. And geez, just by looking at this, that could be a fire hazard. So anyway, so what we're going to do is, there's a lot of wires going here. I like to try to get as much of the wire as possible. Now this bolt is totally frozen on this thing. I cannot get it out, okay? I actually edited this video. I tried to get it out. It will not come out. So this little piece of plastic is going to have to probably go with the motor. Maybe I can reduce it a little. There's a bolt right here. So let's try to undo that and see what happens. Can you see that? You see what I'm doing? Hope so. I'm not used to filming at this kind of angle. This little workbench here is kind of new to me here. Kind of new to you guys too, I guess, in a way. Let's see. Although it makes me look fat. It's not the shirt that makes you look fat. It's the fat that makes you look fat. Yeah. If your wife or whatever comes up to you and says, "Does this outfit make me look fat?" you always say, "No. No. You look fine, sweetheart." Don't ever tell them that it's not the shirt that makes you look fat, it's the fat. Anyway, so we're going to pop that off. We got a lot of little pieces of plastic. Those are going to go into my plastics. And there we go. I came out. As I'm looking, I see another. See, now this is me. It may not be you because I have no time for the world. I see a little screw in there. I'm going to unscrew that screw because when I turn these plastics in, I'm going to have a reputation for turning clean plastics in so they don't have to worry about it. Although it does go through a system. That's why if you send me plastics, I will take a look at them. If I see screws or bolts or nuts, don't worry about it. I will remove them. We got a lot of volunteers who love the planet. They'll remove them too. So, but when they shred these things to recycle them, they will go through a magnet. So anything left behind will be shredded. I mean, will be removed. Metals will. So that plastic goes to the floor because I just dropped it, but it will go into the plastics in a little bit here. And that's not really it. There's another screw right here, so we're going to hit that one. Oh, this is going to be one of the difficult ones. Can't get into the angle. Yeah, I had a whole lot of really nice scrapping tools. And I'm a victim of theft. Had a lot of them stolen from me. I've had a few YouTube watchers out there so graciously order some tools from Amazon for me or send me a gift card for Harbor Freight or whatever. And those have been wonderful to try to help me rebuild my tools again. And a little piece of screw metal there. So I really appreciate those who have stepped forward. And I guess now this bolt is so super frozen, it's just going to have to stay. I tried to get it as much as I could. So we're going to follow this wire down as far as I can. To me, every ounce counts. You know, that's my saying. Ooh, what dusty and dirty. We're going to clip those right at the source. Try to pull it through, see if it pulls through. What you hooking up on there, Bubba? Oh, a little plastic holder right there, so I'm going to try to snip that as best I can. There we go. There we go. Come on, baby. There you go. So here is some lamp cord that needs to be recycled. I got to take that little piece of plastic off because they get squirrely about that around here. And then we got the very tip. Cut that off. Brass, always. So we'll be removing those soon. Got your lamp cord here. And you got your motor. All right, there's a few pieces of plastic kind of left on here that I'll try to break off or cut off. But for the most part, that is a good motor. They're going to take that as a motor. They won't take it as, you know, a motor with crap on it. They'll take it as an electric motor. And it's really important to recycle these things as motors instead of scrap, instead of tin scrap, because we're having an aluminum and a copper shortage now in the world. So it's really important for us scrappers to have some responsibility and get these things done right and turn these things in so they can break this apart and recycle the aluminum casing, the steel, and the copper coils inside. Because we really do need this. It's going to be a huge issue here real soon on copper and on aluminum. But this one has screws all around it. Now, I usually have to use a drill, and I don't have one. It was stolen. Try to get in here and get these screws out because they can be really frozen in there sometimes. Yeah, see, I want to strip it. I don't want to strip it. And they are froze. Yeah. See that? I just stuck myself. If you didn't bleed, you didn't work. I used to actually have a sign in my office that said that. All right, yeah, those are all frozen, so I'm not going to worry about that. I'm just going to turn this in as a motor. I'm not going to take it apart. But that's what's inside a fan. There's your motor that all these scrappers love so much. They don't love the fan because they're plastic. They don't love the plastic cover because it's plastic. But they love the metal bar, and they love that, which is the motor. So that is micro scrapping a fan motor. Just bringing it out of the plastics, taking the wire separately, copper wire, that's lamp wire, and yeah, even down to the little screws that will be recycled. How about that? Like, share, subscribe. There's a lot more coming, okay? A lot more micro scrapping coming, some fun. Like, share, and subscribe. Show me that you're out there. And I got a tip jar thing there. So if you feel generous, yeah, keep this boat floating. Get green, get wise.